Una de las cosas que me pidieron es que pudiéramos grabar esta sesión, así que tal vez les llegó un mensajito de que lo vamos a hacer, así que espero que lo acepten. Agradezco a Vero, a Juan y a todos por este desafío, algo que me encanta y los que me conocen saben que yo amo el inglés, amo la enseñanza del inglés y es mi deseo de poder brindar este servicio que tenemos en la iglesia a todas las personas, a no solo los miembros, sino también a los amigos de la iglesia. Yo había preparado una capacitación en español, pero en los principios de aprendizaje, hay 4 principios de aprendizaje que vamos a repasar hoy. En el quinto dice, Speak English. Y dice que nosotros debemos ser los primeros o establecer la expectativa de nuestra clase y hablar en inglés. Entonces, me van a tener que sufrir, but from now on, I will speak English. So, the whole training will be in English. I will follow the same rule as I will ask you to follow, and that will be to be clear, to speak slow, to make sure that everyone understands, okay? So if you have any questions, you can write in the chat, okay? Maybe Vero, Juan, or Maxi can help us with the questions to answer, or we will answer them after the training.
Arrancó a hablar en inglés, la hermana.
Yes. So I hope that everybody will feel comfortable, okay? So if you have any questions, write it in the chat. So I will share my screen here. Hold on 1 second. I need to close my screen right here. Okay. Okay. So we will start by talking about what is the purpose of EnglishConnect. The first thing we need to understand is that EnglishConnect 1 and 2 are not a typical academic English class. We are used to go to an institute, receive classes through high school, secondary school, private classes. They are nothing compared to EnglishConnect 1 and 2. So if we understand this, we need to let the learners, and this is where I'm going to stop. I wrote, the purpose of EnglishConnect is to help learners. Why do we use the word learners? Does anybody know? Learners, it's a word that we use instead of student, okay? Because the learners are capable of learning and trying to improve their skills, okay? So usually the learners have a motivation to learn, okay? And they can improve their skills and become better people. In this case, we're trying to improve that they will become, as you see, increase faith in Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ. This will be the first purpose. The second purpose, become capable learners. This is something that we have a lot of responsibility to do. And the third one is to develop English skills in a gospel-centered environment. So this is basically the purpose of EnglishConnect. If we understand this, we can give this knowledge to the students, and they need to understand this. So this is the first thing about EnglishConnect. Now, what I'm going to do next in our second slide It's something that we implement in EnglishConnect 3 and in Pathway. So I want to see some hands. Who have done Pathway? Okay. Who have done EnglishConnect 3 as a missionary or as a student? Okay, so we have a few hands. So one of the things we do in Pathway and in EnglishConnect 3, remember, is the students' visit. Do you remember those students' visits? Where the missionary meets the student before the semester starts?
Yes.
I believe that retention and having the learners, I can say, I'm trying to find the word here. Compromise is better if we do this. So let me explain what this is about for the ones that have not done EnglishConnect 3 or Pathway. So the learner's first visit, it's a visit that we have with each one of the students. It can be for 10 or 15 minutes, no more than that. What do we do there in the visit? So we get to know the learner. We discuss the program. First, we get to know the learner. Why is it important to get to know the learner that is going to be in my class? Because I know where they're from, what is their purpose, why they're studying English, why is English important for them. Just get to know them and let them know that you care for them, care for their study, care for their progress. Second thing, discuss the program and expectations. If the learner doesn't understand the program, doesn't understand the purpose of EnglishConnect, they don't know what to expect, and they don't know what we as teachers expect from them. So this is a good opportunity for them to know about this. The third one, provide the class information. Sometimes they don't know what Zoom link they need to join. When is the class? Maybe you have a student from Chile and a student from Uruguay, and they change the times. I don't know if this will be the case here. Maybe not. Pero no. Okay. So each one will have their own country. Okay, that's good. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay. But you need to give them the class information, everything they need to know. And the fourth one is to review the requirements to participate in the program. Some of those requirements are, for example, have a camera. Okay, so we can interact, we can see each other. And the only reason we have our cameras off is because we have low internet connection. Otherwise, and this is for everyone in this room, everyone should have the camera on. Okay, and microphones available, so you can ask a question, you can respond, you can have a conversation. So the requirements are part of what the student needs to know. If the learner doesn't know what is required of them, they don't know what to do. So this is very clear.
Yes.
Another thing, sorry.
Is part of the initial interview to assess the level of English that they already have?
Yes, in some cases, some students join EnglishConnect 2, for example, and maybe they're not ready for it. So in that visit that you have, you may be able to assess that, and that would be so important. There's some students that say, no, I need to review and I'll just do EnglishConnect 1 and then move to EnglishConnect 2. But some of them, maybe they're more confident in their ability, but maybe they just need a little more. So yeah, you can do that. Great question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry,
think it's-
sorry. A few years ago, I
Mhm.
participated as a teacher in EnglishConnect 1 and 2, and there were a test, a little test, in which we realized the level of English of our student. In this case, do we have that test?
Yeah, the test is the same that you can find in the website in EnglishConnect. There are a few questions that you ask the student, and if the student responds to those questions that are very basic, you can determine the level of the student, if it's for 1 or for 2. Yes.
And
Simple
in that
questions like introductions, like if you can say your name, where you're from, what you like doing, what's your family like, and things like that. Very basic. So maybe they can be in EnglishConnect too. Yes.
Okay, I mean that in that interview, we can realize to which course that student have to be part.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Actually,
Thank you, Daniel, for mentioning.
we are interviewing some candidates in advance to establish the level if they are not very sure. But if you have some case in the class, once it start, you can do what Sister Lucas said. You can tell us and we can find a place for them in another class.
Well, I asked Nati Wasabi, but she's not here. But Karina Cantaruti is here. So I haven't told her anything, but I'm going to ask her one question, Karina, and you can answer, please. Has the student visit made a difference between the relationship between you and the learner?
Yes, absolutely. I had the more special times during that special conversation with them. I was able to get to know better and their needs, and the Holy Ghost was there during that interview, and they felt more confident to start and to participate during the gathering too.
Excellent. Thank you, Karina. So yeah, so that is the clear testimony of that this works. Okay. Now regarding non-members, we can have maybe non-members or friends of the church. So when we have the first visit, we can tell them that the learners, everyone in the classroom must maintain a respectful attitude towards the standards that we have, okay? And this is for all the students, not only the non-members, but if we do have, we should just emphasize a little on that. Now any other comments, any other questions regarding this?
Hi, I have a question. The
Okay.
semester is going to be 25 weeks or 14 as EnglishConnect 3?
25 weeks. That's why we start in June and we finish in November. It's exactly 25. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't know who asked the question because I don't have mine, but whoever it was, thank you so much. Okay, now let's go to what is our role? What is our role as teachers? So in the website, we learned that we are teachers. In Self-Reliant, we are instructors or we are facilitators. In this case, it talks more about teachers. So this is what we are. We are teachers. We are teachers for EnglishConnect 1 and 2. The main role that we have, and it's very much related to the principles of learning and to the EnglishConnect purpose, that it is to create an environment where the Spirit can teach. So who is the teacher? Or who are the teachers?
The Spirit mainly.
The Spirit and us. We are the teachers, but we need to make sure that the Spirit is there. So that will be our second job, to make sure that we are prepared enough that we can have the Spirit in our class. because that will be the best teacher that we can have. And we know this because we have learned through the Spirit every day. I mean, we do learn through the Spirit every day of our life. So this is the way we're going to teach a language. This is why we don't need to be experts teaching English. None of us need to be a teacher or a professor or have years of experience teaching English. It's not a requirement. You know, I've been in contact with the person who created this program and who works through everything. She is amazing. Her name is Carrie. And every time I have a doubt, I reach out to her. And I asked her once, who can teach EnglishConnect 1 or EnglishConnect 2? And she said, anybody who is one class ahead. And this is very interesting. So if you are one class ahead of your class, you're ready to teach. So this is something very interesting, and I hope you can take advantage of that. And you only need to follow the course materials. These course materials has been developed in a way that it works exactly how it is. We don't need to add, and we don't need to take out anything. If the students follow all the resources they have as learners, we can exactly follow all the resources we have as teachers. Okay? So you don't need to go and look for any other thing outside. Okay? We can encourage our students to use Duolingo, to use Embark. Embark is amazing. It's an amazing app. Encourage them to go to Embark, encourage them to use Duolingo. But in your class, we're only using the course materials that it is online. There's nothing else we need to use. Okay, and the last one, it says, you can have learners act in faith to experience the Savior's promise that with God, all things are possible. One of the things we learn and we teach is to act by faith and to pray for the gift of tongues. Now, when you study English or any career, well, in this case, any other language, maybe you learn another language. Have you asked for the gift of tongues? If you go to university, will the teacher tell you, you need to have faith that you will learn and you need to pray for the gift of tongues? This doesn't happen outside our church. This happens here because we do believe in that. So this is what we need to tell our students. And we also need to believe it. If we're not teachers and we're ready to teach, it's because we have faith in God that we can do this. So the same faith we ask our students to have when they learn, the same faith we ask when we teach. Any questions here so far? Do you all understand me? Yes? I hope so. I can't see your faces because I have all this screens here. Okay, now let's move to the next one. How can I be a better teacher? Usually to be a better teacher, I have taught English for 33 years. And I mean, most of my life. I've been married 30. I have been married to English 33. So imagine. So we usually go to trainings, we read books, we look for things. Now we have Google, so we can go and find so many things. So interesting, all the things that we can find to learn, to review, and to have more knowledge. But we have extra help when we teach. And it says there, as you seek the Spirit and love those you teach. And I like this. You love those you teach. So to love the ones we teach, we must get to know them before. This is why it's so important to the students' visit. So we get back to what we started. we need to get to know our students and be able to love them. You will be able to create an environment where learners feel the spirit, feel welcome, and feel confident that Heavenly Father will help them learn English. And we create this. We create this by preparing ourselves with all the things that we prepare ourselves. If I ask you, how do you prepare to go to conference? We read all the last general conference talks. We pray about it. We pray before we go to conference, and we receive answers to our prayers, to the things that we're seeking. This is the same thing. Another thing, we prepare, for example, to take sacraments every Sunday. So if we prepare to go to our class, the Spirit will be there. We will feel and we will let the students know that they're welcome, that they're confident, that they can share, that it doesn't matter if they make mistakes, because we need to involve all of them. So the best way we can become better teachers is to prepare ourselves spiritually. Once we do that, we will receive the Lord's help. And also you need to check on the class. Go to the website, see what I have to teach this week, and be ready with everything, have all the pages open before I start the class, maybe be 10 minutes before everyone comes and be there greeting everyone, talking to them. How was your day? Asking just, chit chat questions. And then we start the class on time. This is also very important.
I have a
Always
question.
be punctual. Yes. Who is there?
Hi, I'm Paul Turman.
Because you're Xiaomi 22011.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know how to put my name in there anyway.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I'm just Chinese numbers, that's all. So is there a physical book, like a paper book, that we can get a hold of, or is it just online?
Okay, yes, there is a physical book. And I checked the physical book that you can, or any student can download it from the Gospel Library on their phone. They can download it from the website. It's exactly the same one that we have on the platform to learn from. So if they want to do any written activity, because writing things is very good for the learning. Okay, maybe you heard this. If you write in your journal, if you write a sentence, if you write a question, it's better to achieve that, to remember that. So yes, there is. You can find them in the website. Okay, any other questions regarding that? No? Okay, Cora
Yes, I have a question.
Okay,
Sorry.
who is, okay. Go ahead. I know Cora said she had a question and somebody else just asked the question.
Elena? Yes.
Okay, Elena. Elena.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I about the question that he made, and it's about the printed copy of the printed book. It's the same that we are going to find in the website, because the one that I have is from like 5 years ago. I don't know if it's still the same printed book, or they have modification through the years. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
The book, if you want to use a printed book, you download the one that you find in the website. That is the one that matches what you're doing on the online practice. Yes.
Sorry, Sister Lucas.
Yes.
You can access to an exercise book for the students. So they have a lot of exercise that they can practice during the week.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Good.
If someone need the link, I have the link. I can send the link in the chat.
Yeah,
Please,
perfect. Yes, please.
Leave the link of the website, please. I don't have it.
Yes,
Thank-
please.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Marcela,
Yes.
Cora tiene la mano levantada.
Yes, Cora.
Thank
Okay.
you. My question is about my foundation. We still use my foundation because I have been watching all the new material, the new resources for students that are amazing, so good. And all the listenings, the little videos, the exercises, the auto tests. And it says like we have to take, I don't remember exactly, but it's like 15 to 20 minutes for reading something spiritual and talk about it, but it doesn't say there in the page that it has to be my foundation. So I just finished EnglishConnect like a month ago, and EnglishConnect 2 in 2 groups. And for the last kind of 10 weeks, we just read speeches from conference, and we also use teachings of Jesus Christ that are in that material and are really, really good, and it have a lot of good questions. So my question is, do we still have to use my foundation kind of yes or yes, or we can choose new material that is from the page, for example?
Okay, so this is one question that came up in some of our meetings. And the idea, and it's something that Veronica mentioned at the beginning, is to unify everything we have. So we are all on the same page. So we are in the same week, we finish the same week, and we do the same things equally. So my foundation is what we have to do every class, and we can do it before the class, and it won't be more than 15 minutes, okay? So make it brief, make sure that the person who does it has a clear about the principle that you're teaching, a few examples, maybe a few questions, and we close there. Not something very extended. This is one of the things that had happened before, that sometimes we have such long my foundation classes that the students just, get lost in everything. Some of them, they have to leave. So it becomes a little tedious. So yes, my foundation, 15 minutes, and that way we will do it from now on. Okay.
For the 25 lessons.
Yes, EnglishConnect 1, it's allowed to start in Spanish, the first book. I mean, all the first classes. When you start over again on the second period, you should try to do it in English. For EnglishConnect 2, we challenge that you start from day 1 to do my foundation in English. Okay?
So
Everyone,
for us humble people that know absolutely nothing about the program, my foundation, what is that?
okay. You can contact me. I will explain, or Veronica, or anybody,
Okay.
and we will explain what my foundation is and
Okay.
how it is done, and where you can find the videos and where you can find the material for it.
I just found out about this like 3 hours ago. So
Okay.
I'm a total virgin. I'm
Well-
an English teaching virgin.
Well, thank you
We
for
really
being here.
appreciate
In
your
such
participation, Paul.
in such late notice. Thank you so much. Okay, so the principle of learning. This is the last thing that we're going to talk about. And this is something that we should know, because this is on the learner's side. But if we don't know what we're talking about when we talk about the principles of learning, which I'm not sharing, let me go there. Okay. This is what we should encourage our students to follow. How to exercise faith in Jesus Christ, and this is something we should do as well. Take responsibility. Take responsibility is one of the most important part in this program. Because if the learners do not take responsibility in their own learning, in acquiring the skills that they need, they will come to a class not prepared. They will come to a class where they don't know what you're doing. They won't know the vocabulary. They won't know the format. They will know the conversation. And what we do in the class is to practice conversations that we have learned during the week, right? This is what you do in your EnglishConnect classes. Cora, is that what you did in the classes that you just finished?
I'm sorry, I was taking notes and I didn't listen.
That's okay. I'm just, asking about this. I mean, have you done this? Have you practiced the conversations in the classes? This is what we are.
Yes.
This is what we do.
Yes,
So
we
just
also
review.
We use the little groups that Zoom, because where I live, we are like I don't want to lie, but kind of 900 kilometers away from one branch to the other corner of the state. So it's very far away. We did it through Zoom, and we use a lot of the little groups, and it was amazing. It was really, really good. And we try to, I just say try. We tried to pray in English because it was kind of Spanglish. And also the conversations were in English and the activities were in English, but the personal conversations, maybe they weren't. It's like all the book was in English, but the personal ones, maybe not.
Okay. So this is mainly what we have to do. They need to take responsibility. If they don't take responsibility, they just come to a class. And this is a concept that we need to change this is our culture. We are used to go to school and have a teacher teach us every day. And then we go to an institute and they teach us. So in this case, EnglishConnect is, like I said, is not a typical way of learning, because we learn in our home between 8 to 10 hours. And then we come to a class where we teach one another. This is the third step. Why we teach one another? Because we share what we know, we practice. Like today, some of you answered the questions the other had. I didn't have to say anything, because this is what we do. We teach one another. We learn by doing. What does this mean? What do you think this means? Learn by doing. Anybody knows what it means to learn by doing? I'm going to read something. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I think it's a process, and it's hard because when we do things, we make mistakes. And this is the funny thing. We need to do something for have a testimony of Jesus Christ. I feel, when before this meeting, I was having some problems, and I said myself, I need to be there with my brothers and know and learn, and I feel better. And I will feel better, and I feel like that. So this is the way we have faith. So I feel a spirit in this meeting, and I have a question also, because I am inviting some people, but I don't know if this EnglishConnect 1 and 2 is for free or they need to pay something, because I don't know if like Pathway or EnglishConnect or 3?
Yeah, well, EnglishConnect 3 and Pathway are paid platforms, so they are run by an area manager. We here in EnglishConnect 1 and 2 have Juan. Where's Juan? Juan Minardo. It's the manager here, and he's the one that runs this program. So it's not a paid program. I know that through this initiative that we're having, all the positions have been filled, so I don't think we have any more room for any more students so far. So we still need to figure that out. We need more instructors, more teachers, but we're still looking for them. So, okay, now going back to
how many, that leads me to believe that there, I'll speak slowly. That leads me to believe that the classes are limited in the amount of people. How many people are limited per class?
So we have for EnglishConnect 1, 15.
Okay.
And for EnglishConnect 2, 20.
Okay. And you said learn, and the key is repetition. They can't say the word one time and know the word. You know, you're going to have to repeat that and practice and
that's
do it
why
over again.
Yeah, that's why the material it's so rich, because the learner goes. I can show you in a little while if you want, where you're talking about the resources that the student have.
Okay.
They can click on every word and they can click and click and click until they learn how to say it, 1,000 times. And the conversations and the questions and everything. So they have everything they need. There's nothing they don't have. This is the most amazing about it.
Okay, so I don't have to invent anything.
No,
it's all there.
That's what I said. That's what I said. There's nothing we need to add or take out. Everything's there.
Beautiful.
So even I know many of you maybe are teachers and have been teaching English for your life. But what happens if there is a grammar issue? We explain the most briefly we can. Short explanation, not long explanations about how this works and how this doesn't, and all that stuff, because we lose time that we don't have. So if we stick by the books, we're fine. Now, learn by doing. This is where we left. So learn by doing, and I'm going to read what it's right there in the website. It says, the goal of a conversation class is to give every learner the opportunity to practice speaking as much as possible. Learners should be speaking and practicing with each other in every part of the lesson. This is why we don't take time to explain grammar things and things that are not relevant, because they need to practice what they have learned during the week, the vocabulary and the questions. It says this will help them, encourage learners to memorize the lesson, vocabulary, and example sentences before class. This will help them be prepared to benefit more from the conversation class activities. Manage your time. This is also important. Sometimes, this happens to me in EnglishConnect 3. We had amazing missionaries. I was a zone leader. And I had 2 missionaries, and they say, Sister Lucas, we have a 3-hour gathering. And I'm like, what? 3-hour gathering? What happened? Oh my God. And they said, I don't know. We just talk and we do this, and everyone is there. And I said, no, you can't do that. So I went to this gathering, and they waste so much time doing things that they're not supposed to. This is why they were there 3 hours when they were supposed to be 2 hours. So be careful with how you manage your time. Okay. This shouldn't be taking more than, we said an hour and a half, was it, Vero? Okay. Maybe take 15 minutes more for the
an hour and a
my
half,
foundation.
maximum 2 hours.
Yes. So learn how to do that. This is another thing we need to learn as teachers. It's like I always say, the best managers of their time are the people who have prepared a speech for church, for sacrament meeting, and they leave you with 5 minutes and you prepare a talk of 15 and you do that last speech in 4 minutes. So learn how to manage your time. This is very important, okay? Now, the last one is to speak English. So it's what I said at the beginning. If we need to set and establish the expectations, we need and we must talk to our students in English. Our class should be from 0 to whatever, 60, 90, 70 minutes in English. We must be use basic words, simple sentences, hand motions, do flip-flops, whatever you want, you know, do something that they will understand. If there is still, for example, in EnglishConnect 1, any explanation to do it in Spanish, but don't just do it in Spanish, do it in both languages, okay? Because one thing that I have learned, before you go to the breakout rooms, everybody in the class needs to understand what it is to be done in the breakout room. If you do not make that clear, you will send them and 1 minute later, they will be calling you. You know, now that they can call you on the chat, they can, you know, call you and it says, room 1 needs you, room 3 needs you, room 5 needs you. And you'll just go and explain again and again and again. So I see a lot of you guys doing like this.
Mr.
Graciela
Lucas?
and Coda, everybody says yes. Yes.
I asked some sisters that they weren't teaching EnglishConnect, but I know they are on Pathway or BYU, and they offer help as assistants. So for the breakup rooms, I always have assistants. And I have my home family. So when nobody could, I have 2 daughters and a husband, and we were the whole family in the breakup rooms. It helps a lot. And also preparing, there are students that are very prepared, but they don't trust themselves. So if we help them, and I have one that is now teaching EnglishConnect 1, and she was like, no, I can't teach, I can't talk, but she can. And we need to search these people and ask for them to help us. And this is really amazing.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's so good. Thank you, Cora, for sharing that. And that comes to another thing that you can do. Sometimes in your groups, you have students that know a little more than others. So once you recognize that, when you create the breakout rooms and the couples to work, put them in those groups, you know, send them in those groups where you know they will be able to help the other learner to learn faster or to learn more. So that is another job that you have. So I know there's a lot of questions. I've seen the chat, it says, I have so many questions. I will send you I will write in the chat my email and my phone number. And when you write to me, tell me who you are and where you're from and what you're doing, so I will know and identify you. But I want to finish with something. Let me put it up here.
Marcela, can we switch to Spanish the last part of the training?
Yes, no problem.
Because we invited some stake specialists that they are maybe between us and for relax some of
Okay.
their minds.
Perfect, no problem. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so you can see my screen, right? Okay,
Yes, we can.
vamos a terminar en español entonces. Algo interesante del inglés, y es algo que venimos desarrollando hace un tiempo, es la capacidad que tiene un idioma extranjero, sobre todo el inglés, para ayudarle y facilitar a las personas a conseguir trabajo, a ser mejores estudiantes. Pero esto requiere, y a tener mejores oportunidades también, porque las oportunidades a veces vienen y a veces estamos limitados. Yo tengo gente conocida, por ejemplo, que siempre me dice, ay, tengo que seguir estudiando porque se me presentan oportunidades de trabajo. Algunos son diseñadores web, otros son diseñadores gráficos, otros son, no sé, miles de profesionales que les falta en inglés y por eso no pueden seguir progresando. Entonces sabemos que el inglés es una herramienta, es algo que abre puertas, está totalmente comprobado y las oportunidades de trabajo son mayores. Y yo creo que también la oportunidad de servir, todos ustedes tienen la oportunidad de servir porque saben inglés. Mucho, poco, muchísimo, pero tienen el deseo y eso es importante. Entonces también podemos servir mejor en la obra del Señor. Y lo otro es que los alumnos pueden desarrollar amistades. Amistades que le van a durar por tanto tiempo. Yo recién estuve mirando, tengo a varios exalumnos que estuvieron conmigo en Pathway. La tengo a Sofía, la tengo a Karen, a tantos otros que no veo porque está corta mi pantalla, a Adriana, que hoy la sumé, y que se han sumado a esta iniciativa, porque entienden la importancia de esto. Y yo les agradezco un montón. Para mí esto es lo que voy a predicar siempre, ¿no? El inglés, el aprendizaje y la educación. Una iglesia que nos da esta posibilidad es realmente maravillosa. Pero para eso necesitamos que nuestros alumnos se comprometan con tiempo, con diligencia, con una práctica intencional, que estén seguros de esto que van a hacer, porque ustedes donan de su tiempo y esperan que ellos puedan aprender. Porque es el mejor regalo que ustedes reciben. Cuando un alumno a fin de año hace, o a mitad del curso, hace la oración en inglés, cuando responde las preguntas, cuando conversa, cuando tiene mejor pronunciación. Eso es lo que a nosotros nos da la satisfacción de haber servido. Y lo último es esto. Nosotros, si bien enseñamos un idioma, enseñamos a nuestros alumnos y aprendemos nosotros a ser mejores discípulos de Jesucristo. Ese es el objetivo de cada una de las cosas que hacemos. Que eso lo podamos tener en mente. Yo tengo un testimonio de mi Salvador Jesucristo. Sé que Él me ama, sé que Él dio su vida por mí. Amo esta iglesia y amo los programas que tienen, porque nos ayudan a ser cada día mejores. Ojalá que nosotros, ustedes y cada uno de nuestros alumnos puedan tomar estas oportunidades, puedan tomar las responsabilidades y lograr las cosas que ellos quieren lograr en esta vida. Recuerden que todo lo que aprendamos se va a ir con nosotros. Ojalá que podamos llevar mucho con nosotros, mucho adentro, mucho conocimiento y que podamos ser mejores discípulos. Sé que hay muchas manos levantadas, yo voy a terminar y bueno, después le vamos a dar el tiempo a los que tengan preguntas, pero dejo esto en el nombre de Jesucristo. Amén.
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 Marcela,
Sí.
una cosa más que me gustaría pedirte que comentaras, que a mí me encantó cuando lo escuché, fue acerca de las entrevistas previas y el impacto que puede tener en el vínculo con el estudiante, cómo puede ayudar al instructor a empezar a edificar sobre la roca desde la primera reunión.
Una de las cosas que que hemos aprendido a través de Students Visits es el tiempo. Nosotros al principio parece que es mucho tiempo. Usted dice, tengo 20 alumnos, son 15 minutos por alumno, le tengo que dedicar muchas horas antes de empezar el curso. Pero ese tiempo que ustedes se van a tomar es el tiempo que se van a ahorrar después, porque van a conocer al alumno, van a saber cómo llegar a él, van a saber cómo ofrecerle la ayuda, van a conocer la situación del alumno. Y eso también tiene mucho que ver a la hora del aprendizaje. Entonces, esfuércense por estas visitas, estas primeras visitas. Una vez que tengan ustedes un listado, su listado, y creen el grupo de WhatsApp, el cual también utilícenlo sabiamente. Aprovechen, tómense 10 minutos y manden algo que realmente sea importante, que sea relevante, que realmente los alumnos digan, ay, mira lo que me mandó la hermana, esto tengo que hacer, me reinteresa, esto me gusta. Son cosas importantes. Usen las herramientas que tienen para su beneficio, para que su clase realmente sea preciosa. Así que, bueno, algo más. ¿Quieres que ponga, Vero?
Hay una mano levantada.
Antonio.
Antonio.
Sí, solamente quería avisar, dar mi testimonio con respecto a lo maravilloso que es el programa de EnglishConnect. Estoy desde el principio, soy de la estaca Ramos Mejía, y llegó un momento, es que, bueno, ahora soy el único instructor en toda la estaca, pero llegué a tener 4 clases cuando eran 4 cursos, y en ese tiempo andaba sin trabajo, y siempre, bueno, a Verónica le decía, mira, voy a abrir un nuevo curso, otro más. Mi presidente de estaca me dijo, pero ¿cuándo trabajás? En ese momento andaba medio desocupado, pero les puedo asegurar que ese sacrificio que yo hacía, no lo tomaba como sacrificio, sino me ayudó muchísimo. Y a lo que voy es que ahora yo estoy trabajando de esto, o sea, yo soy maestro particular online de inglés, vivo de esto, puedo proveer para mi familia, y gracias a este curso, a mis primeros alumnos, 3 de ellos están enseñando también, entonces están proveyendo para sus familias. Entonces el programa de EnglishConnect sirve y podemos cambiar vidas. Lo puedo decir porque de primera mano puedo decir eso. Más que nada quería. Y un pequeño tip a mi grupo, a mis alumnos, todos los días le mando una frase inspiradora en inglés, y la tarea que tienen ellos todos los días, que le envío de lunes a viernes, es que me lo traduzcan y que me lo envíen que no usen el Google, el traductor de Google, sino que lo traduzcan. Alguna vez se lo traducen como Tarzán, pero lo hacen, así que es una buena técnica.
Gracias,
Buenísimo.
Antonio.
Muchísimas gracias, Antonio.
Daniel.
Daniel.
Sí, una consulta más bien técnica. En función del licenciamiento que tiene Zoom, ¿ya? ¿Es posible ocupar otras herramientas de meeting? Como, no sé, como Meet de Google o Teams de Microsoft.
Sí, pueden usar las herramientas que a ustedes más les parezcan adecuadas para comunicarse. Hay lugares muy remotos y donde de repente no disfrutan de la tecnología a la que la mayoría tiene acceso, que hasta han tenido reuniones por WhatsApp, el grupo de WhatsApp de 8, para que se hagan una idea. Y vamos a compartir con ustedes un material de qué hacer antes, durante y después de cada una de las sesiones o clases en internet. A través de la hermana Lucas se las vamos a mandar, y también algún instructivo para ver cómo seleccionar una plataforma. Adicionalmente, nosotros tenemos otra herramienta que estamos usando, alguno de nuestros gerentes ha estado trabajando bastante en esto, que se llama Classroom. Pueden trabajar con esta herramienta los que la conocen, los que no y que estén interesados. No es obligatorio, pero ustedes pueden manejarse, usarla, y les va a resultar una herramienta muy valiosa. Pero como sabemos que no todos son muy amigos de la tecnología, cada uno tiene un nivel diferente de amor por las teclas, entonces lo dejamos a su criterio para que se sientan cómodos. Si tienen interés en el desarrollo de esta herramienta o a recibir un poco de apoyo, podemos organizar una clase a través de Marcela. Marcela puede contactar a uno de nuestros gerentes que la domina, así con los
Y a
ojos
Maxi.
cerrados, y
Maxi.
podemos ayudarlos. Está Maxi por ahí. Entonces ya lo comprometemos a Maxi. Para todos aquellos que quieran participar con Classroom, pueden hacerlo, siéntanse libres de elegir la plataforma con la que se sientan más cómodos, porque la idea no es que ustedes se sientan mal o abrumados con una tarea adicional, sino que se sientan lo más cómodos y apoyados posible. No tenemos mucho más tiempo, así que voy a aceptar la pregunta de Guido y de Liliana, y ya se nos va el tiempo. Así que adelante, hermanos.
Liliana primero, buenas noches a todos.
Gracias, Guido.
Primero las damas.
Buenas noches.
Gracias, Guido. Yo quería testificar de que es cierto que este programa nos da muchas herramientas y oportunidades. A mí también me dio la oportunidad de trabajar y poder proveer para mi familia. Y también me dio la oportunidad de hacer amigos online. Tenemos un grupo que los sábados a la 1 de la tarde nos conocimos en Pathway, y después hicimos, algunos de ese grupo hicimos EnglishConnect 3, y para no perder esta fluidez de hablar y este contacto a través de las redes, los días sábados nos juntamos a hablar inglés por 1 horita. Alguien propone un tema y hablamos. Y esto de enseñarnos unos a los otros es maravilloso, y también he podido ver los milagros, ¿no? Porque esto de comenzar una reunión pidiendo la bendición del don de lenguas realmente es maravilloso, porque podemos ver que se empieza de una manera y se termina logrando el objetivo de hablar inglés como hablamos el castellano, de poder comunicarnos. Quizás nuestra escritura tenga errores, pero esto de equivocarse, tener en cuenta que equivocarse no está mal, que es muy bueno, porque si no nos equivocamos no aprendemos. Entonces, esto es maravilloso. He podido ver milagros con este programa y quería compartir eso, nada más.
Gracias, Liliana, muchas gracias. Guido.
Sí, gracias. Tengo dos, bueno, primero buenas noches a todos nuevamente. Dos preguntas cortitas. La primera es, bueno, reafirmar el tiempo independientemente si es virtual o presencial. Estamos hablando de 1 hora y media, ¿no? Independientemente de la modalidad, 1 hora y media, 2 horas máximo, ¿correcto? Y lo segundo es, los certificados se gestionan a través de la plataforma QuickRed, como se hacen con los grupos de autosuficiencia.
Sí, sí, Guido. Ahora cada estaca va a registrar sus grupos y a través de la plataforma, así como se preparan los certificados de cualquier grupo de autosuficiencia o incluso de los cursos de cómo fortalecer el matrimonio, de cómo fortalecer la familia, los certificados se emiten en la estaca a través de QuickReg.
Ok, muchas gracias.
De nada. Para finalizar, yo estaba mirando las caras. Nuevamente quiero agradecerles por su tiempo, por su disposición a colaborar, a compartir no solamente su conocimiento, sino su espíritu y sus testimonios. Hace unos momentos recordaba el testimonio que me dio uno de los hermanos que está acá presente, un instructor, Antonio García. Él empezó estudiando EnglishConnect 1, pasó por el 2, el 3, Pathway, certificados, y ahora va hacia su licenciatura. Entonces, para mí es un ejemplo de vida, un ejemplo de un buen miembro de la Iglesia de Jesucristo que trata de alcanzar el máximo de su potencial, seguramente con sacrificios, con esfuerzos, no rindiéndose jamás, y ojalá nosotros podamos ser como Antonio y cada uno de nosotros compartir con los demás aquellas cosas con las que el Señor nos ha ido bendiciendo a lo largo de la vida, porque de eso se trata el Evangelio, de ayudarnos los unos a los otros a ser un poquito mejores todos los días. Así que para finalizar, simplemente quería nuevamente agradecer y agradecer. Esperemos